Class online. తినడానికి స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది.
How much time does it take?
నువ్వు చాలా 11:30 వరకు కదా 2 క్లాస్ వస్తూ ఉన్నాయి.
Sir, only
రైట్.
time.
టార్గెట్ ఎంత?
Huh?
టార్గెట్
Same.
సేమ్ అంటే వెరీ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ స్టూడెంట్స్. వెల్కమ్ టు IIT NEET Foundation, our Focus C program by Krishnaveri Talent Schools and the Mastermind Schools. So once again, I welcome all the class 6th students for today's session. As you can see on the screen, and you are well aware, my subject is physics. We are in class 6th. Our ongoing chapter, that is new chapter, today we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter number 6, light, and we are at the session number 1. So far we completed 5 chapters from the beginning of academic year to till the date, and today we are entering into the 6th chapter, that is light. So as you all know, what is the importance of light in our day life? Because we cannot imagine our life without light, right? Correct or not? So without light there is only darkness. So to vanish the darkness, light is very important. So in our life, light plays very important role, as we cannot imagine our life without light. Because in olden days, when they're long back, they used to live in the darkness, but right now we are completely addicted for the light. So in this chapter, as is the beginning of the chapter, we'll discuss about some basic concepts of light and some important applications of light in day-to-day life, and some important terminology, scientific terminology related to light in this class. Of course, when you go to the higher classes, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, you will get more and more properties of light also. There are so many properties are there, and their applications in our day-to-day life. We'll discuss in the higher classes. But right now, as a part of class 6th, we are going to discuss about some basic concepts of light, right? So in the part of discussing about the basic part, we have, you can see here, this is our page number 91. Page number 91. We can see there are so many important points about the light. So as a part of it, you can see what important parts are there. So here we discuss about what is light, what is the shadow. You know, shadow also very important term. And one of the important property of the light, reflection. Okay, these 3 important words we learn in the chapter in coming maybe 2 or 3 sessions. Clear? So there are the 3 topics, 3 words with elaborated examples we'll discuss in the chapter. One is about light, and other is about shadow. Shadow, what is the condition for formation of shadow? and how to detect the shadow on screen, everything. Then one of the important property of the light called reflection. Okay, then now come to introduction. What is light? There are so many examples are this here. How clearly given. Light is the form of radiant energy which travels in the form of wave. Light waves always travels in straight line. So light is nothing but energy only. It's a form of energy which makes the object to visible for us. Suppose when you enter the dark room, we cannot see anything. But whenever you switch on the light, we can see all the objects and we can identify the object. Right? So light vanishes the darkness and brings or makes the object to visible for us. Clear? Such kind of energy, radiant energy, is called light. Second point, light travels much faster than sound at a speed of 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So the speed of light is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Means after 3, you put 8 zeros. That much speed light will travel, which is much more greater than the speed of the sound. See, when thunder comes, light will come first, then sound will come. Why? Because light travels faster. Sound travels maybe around 350 meter per second, which is so many times greater light speed. Okay, that is very important point. Then, how do we see an object? Question. Already I told. When light from object enters our eyes, we can see the object. There are two ways to seeing the object. One is we can see some objects because they are source of light. We can see some objects because they are reflected by light. There are some objects are there which emits the light, so that we can see the object. That we'll see later example. But there are some objects which does not emit the light, but whenever light falls on them, because of reflection, you can see the object. Right? They are called either luminous object or non-luminous objects. Luminous bodies, non-luminous bodies. That we'll see next. It helps in the sense of vision. When light falls on object, some light is reflected back to our eyes. Thus, we can see the object because of the light being reflected from the object. Whenever light falls on the object, it reflects. Some of the light reflects back to our eyes and it makes the object visible for us. How can you see me? Because of reflection only. As you are seeing through the screen, light falls on a screen and reflect back to your eye, so that you can able to see me or you can able to see the screen because of reflection of light. We are not producing light, but still I can see you. How? Because of the reflection. I am a non-luminous body. There are some bodies who can produce the light and they can see because of that. Right? So few points about the light. Then when you continue here, luminous and non-luminous. The bodies that emits the light by themselves are called luminous bodies. See examples: sun, stars, burning candle, electric bulb. So they themselves are producing the light. They are not depending on anything. Candle burns itself and gives out light for us. Sun is the biggest source of light. Continuously it burns and gives out light for us. And of course, the stars also gives a light. Bulb, electric bulb also. There are different types of bulbs are there. They give the light in different ways. It may be ordinary bulb or tube light or LED. Right? So all those are called luminous bodies, which emits the light by themselves. Second category is non-luminous. The bodies do not give light energy on their own, but reflection of light energy falling on them called luminous body, like moon, rocks, mirror, or anything. Suppose you have books in front of you, or you have a board in front of you, you have your friend in front of you, or your water bottle is there, or any stone you keep there. All these that does not produce a light, but they can be seen. How can you identify them? How can you see them? Because of the reflection of light. Right? So some bodies which can produce the light by themselves are called luminous bodies. The bodies which does not produce the light by themselves, but they can be produced by reflection of light. They are called non-luminous bodies. So luminous bodies are sun, candle, and electric bulb. Non-luminous are moon, rocks, and mirror, or any object. You can chair, table, you, your friend, your teacher, or all non-luminous only. Why? Because they cannot be produce their light by their own. They depend on the other, right? So that is the about light so far. Clearly you can see. Right. So what is light? How do you see the object? We see the object two ways. One is if the bodies emit the light by themselves, we can see sun because of it is a luminous body. You can see the stars because luminous body. We can see the candle because of luminous body. We can see the bulb because of the luminous body. But how can you see the object? In dark room, you have chair, your bed, your fan, your AC. We cannot see them. They are not producing the light. But when you switch on the light, because of reflection of light, we can able to see the object. Right? So those are the non-luminous bodies. So luminous and non-luminous bodies we discuss. Right? So light is a form of energy which makes the object visible for us, or which produces the sensation of on retina of vision. Whenever light falls on our retina, the retina sends signal to our brain so that we can identify that this is a chair, this is a pencil, this is a pen. All these things happen through retina to brain only. So many nerves will be there. Okay. Then, before going for the further, let me show you one video on the same, right? About the basic concepts of light.
How do we humans perceive the things around us? We have 5 senses that help us to interact with the world around us. These are sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. Eyes help us to see things, ears help us to hear sounds, we smell with our nose, taste with our tongue, and the sense of touch is provided by our skin. Of course, all senses are important, but the sense of sight is the most important. Here is an interesting fact. We perceive almost 80% of the world around us by using our sense of sight. We see objects around us with our eyes. But then why don't our eyes see these objects in the dark? The answer to this question is light. We are able to see the objects around us because of the light coming from these objects. The light from these objects travels in space and reaches our eyes. When it's dark or during nighttime, as there is no light, we are unable to see these objects clearly. Some objects can generate their own light. For instance, the sun, the fluorescent bulbs, burning candles can generate their own light.
That is called luminous.
The objects which generate their own light are called the luminous objects.
Right. So, these are the objects which can generate their own light by burning. Sun is burning continuously from millions of years. There is some reaction happening there, nuclear fusion reaction. Fluorescent bulbs also, they undergo burning. Then candle also burning and giving out the light. Means they are generating their own light. So they are called luminous objects.
Almost all of the objects that we come across cannot generate their own light. The table, a chair, wall, paper are few of such examples. Such objects are called as non.
See here. So table is there, chair is there, wall is there, paper is there. If you place in dark room, we cannot identify, we cannot see them. Right? But whenever you switch on the light, they can be visible because of the reflection of light. So they are not producing light by themselves. They are purely dependent on the reflection of light. Such an objects are called non-luminous object. Everything, even you also non-luminous only. Your cycle, your vehicle, your car, all these are visible only when there is a light. They are called, such objects are called non-luminous objects, which cannot generate the light by their own. Clear?
Luminous objects. But I just told you that we see objects around us because of the light coming from them. And if objects like these cannot generate light, then how come we are able to see them? We are able to see them because of the reflection of light.
The property
These
we learned.
objects reflect the light to our eyes. What light are they reflecting? Where is the light coming from? This light is nothing but the light coming from the luminous objects. So how can we summarize this? We are able to see non-luminous objects because they reflect the light of the luminous objects falling on these surfaces. Let me repeat. The light coming from the luminous objects falls on the non-luminous objects. Non-luminous objects then reflect this light, and
Oh,
this reflected light travels towards
Whether
our
it's sun,
eyes.
or
And
candle,
that's
or
why we
bulb.
see the objects. In the daytime, we are able to see blue skies, the white clouds, and the green grass because the light from the sun is getting reflected by them and traveling towards our eyes. At night, we are able to see the moon because it is reflecting the light from the sun. Note that moon is non-luminous and it cannot generate its own light. As I said earlier, most of the objects that we come across in our daily life are non-luminous. We
Most of
only
them.
see them because they reflect the light. Step inside a dark room, light up a torch, and point it at the distant wall. Look carefully at the path of the light coming from the torch. You will see tiny dust particles in the air. What is the reason for this? Why are you able to see these particles? You are able to see the dust particles because the light from the torch is getting reflected from their surfaces and traveling towards our eyes. We also see the same thing in a very dimly lit room where the only source of light is a small amount of sunlight coming from the window. In this video,
So one
we
more
saw that the
explanation.
reflection of light plays an important role. It's because of the reflection of light that we are able to see most of the objects. In the next video, we
See how clearly explained about what we learned till now. Everything is clearly shown, right? So, what is light? What are the luminous bodies? What are the non-luminous bodies? And various examples. And how can you able to identify the object, or how can you able to see the object when the body is non-luminous? Because only few luminous bodies are there. But remaining all are non-luminous. Most of the objects in and around us are non-luminous. But how can you see? We can see by reflection of light from the luminous bodies. So as long as sunlight is there, with the reflection of light sunlight, you can see everything. We can see the clouds, we can see the mountains, you can see the trees, you can see the houses, we can see the human beings because of that. But whenever it becomes dark, even we can able to see the moon also because of the reflection of light. Moon also comes under non-luminous. Or any object like table, cots, chairs, AC, fans, books, everything are non-luminous. As long as the light falls on them, they reflects and reaches our retina, our eyes, so that you can able to see the object. Clear? So, what is light? How can you see the light? What are the luminous bodies? What are the non-luminous bodies? We are clear. Okay? Now come to propagation of light. What? Propagation. What is the meaning of propagation? Traveling. Propagation is nothing but traveling. How light travels? Right? How light travels from one place to another place. So, light, as before given, light always travels in straight line. Right? The light always travels in straight line called rectilinear propagation of light. So, light always travels in straight line. Of course, later will come different way. Always travel in straight line, which is called as rectilinear propagation of light. That is a scientific term for traveling on straight line. Right? This can be proved by a simple experiment. For this, take a cylindrical tube. Say, take a tube, see here. Tube that can be easily bent, the flexible. Then try to see a source of light like bulb or candle through the straight tube. See here. Just by taking the tube, you can see. Not even tube, even you can see our hand also. Okay. See like this. Once the tube is bent at some angle, it is impossible to see the source of light through it. This happens, the light travels in straight line. See. Now when the tube is straight, you can see light directly reach our eye here. But whenever tube is bent, that light is not bending. If light bends, it comments, you can see here. We cannot see when the tube is bent. That indicates that light travels only in straight line or rectilinear propagation of light. Clear? So light travels only in straight line. This experiment you can do in school also or at home also. Simple, without any, you take the water pipe will be there, na? Plastic, cut it small piece, which is easily flexible, right? Just keep the pipe towards the candle or bulb and see. We can see the light. But when one part of the tube is bent, we cannot see the light. Because light cannot bend. It moves straight line. It carries straight line. Okay? Simple way you can explain. And of course, there are so many experiments also there for that to confirm. For example, you can take the slits, two slits like this, wooden slits. 3 are there, right? Make hole in the center at same point for all the 3. At same position, same small holes, and place one candle here. Just simple example. This also you can do it with cardboard. You can prepare when your notebook cover also. Using a notebook cover, you can make 3 slides, place them on same line, make the hole at same point for all the 3. So you can see from here. When you see from here, the light will follow directly and it comes directly and you can touch the eyes clearly. But whenever this second one, suppose 1, 2, and 3 are there, second one move aside, little move aside. Then what happens? The light comes from here, will strike somewhere here, it won't reach other end. Because light travels in straight line. By disturbing any one of the slide, we can observe that light won't reach our eye. Won't reach the observer. So suppose this is called source. Light giving. It is observer, our eye. As long as the 3 are in same line, light will pass straight and reaches your eye. But whenever any one of this is disturbed, suppose you disturb this one, move aside. Just aside, slightly you move. Then what happens? Light will pass through these 2. But it touches somewhere here in the slide. It won't reach our eyes. Because light travels straight. It cannot bend. It cannot bend from here like this and go through this. Because light always travels in straight line. Such property of light is called rectilinear propagation of light. What? Rectilinear propagation. That is straight line propagation. Clear? Okay. This is a very important point again. So, till now, we learned about what is light, how can we see light by reflection, what are luminous bodies, what are non-luminous bodies, and how light travels. That is, light travels always in straight line. Always in straight line. Later, there is some change will come, but always in straight line as long as we learn the next part. Okay? Then, speed of light. Speed, what is speed? How fast it is traveling. The distance traveled per time is called speed. Right? Speed is nothing but distance by time. How much distance it travels? Distance by time. Distance traveled by light in a given time is called speed of light. The light travels in packet of energy called photons. So when you see the light, it is made up of small particles, very minute, tiny particles called photons. So a photon is the smallest quantity of energy can be transported. This photon travels with a wave-like property. Light does not need a medium to travel. Remember, light can travel through vacuum also, not like sound. Very, very important. So does not need medium to travel. Whether, for example, see, sunlight is coming from sun to earth. In between there is a vacuum is there, but still light is coming. Means light travels in. Whereas sound does not travel. Sound required medium to travel. It does not require, it required medium to travel. It cannot travel through vacuum. But whereas light can travel through even vacuum also. Right? So in vacuum or air, light travels with very high speed. See, this is the speed. 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So after 3 8 zeros are, after 3 5 zeros kilometer per second. That much fast light will travel. That is the reason light reaches our earth from sun only in 8 seconds. From sun to earth, light reaches in 8 seconds only because of the speed with which it is traveling. Right? So, light, no doubt, light contains so many, about light, so many other theories will come. In 10th class, you can learn 9th and 10th. Different scientists explain in different way. But first study is made by Sir Isaac Newton about the light also. So light contains small and tiny particles. And like photons, they have a lot of energy. And light does not need medium to travel. It can travel even through vacuum also, where there is no matter. Right? So in either in air or vacuum, light travels with speed of the highest speed of 3 into 10 power 8. 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Right? So that is the next part. What we learn is about the speed of light. Clear? Now, some terms related to light. Some more terms about light. First, optical medium. Next, homogeneous medium, heterogeneous medium, transparent medium, translucent medium. Right? We'll see what is the difference. There's some important terms. Whenever you are studying about light, you should know this. For example, you can see anything, either material or non-material, through which light energy passes wholly or partially is called optical medium. Right? So, when you pass the light, light does not passes through all the materials. Suppose you have so many things in front of you. You try to focus the light on them. Some objects allow the light to pass through them completely or partially. Some objects does not allow them to pass. When objects which allow the light to pass through them wholly or partially are called optical mediums. Again, there are two types. Optical mediums also can write transparent medium or translucent. Transparent completely allows the light to pass. Paper, you take one paper, pass the light, it passes. So many examples, vacuum, air, and most of the gases, water, glass, plastic, all they allow the light to pass through them. For example, take butter paper, oil paper, take oil, apply oil to one paper and pass the light. It won't pass completely. Some only passes. You can correct on the screen. They are translucent. Right? So both transparent and translucent together called optical mediums, which allows the light to pass through them. Whether they are reading completely or whether they are partially or slightly, no matter. Both together called as optical medium, like vacuum, air, right? Most of the gases, water, glass, plastic, examples, etc. They are called optical medium. Clear? Right. So next, homogeneous medium. Right? Homogeneous. An optical medium that has uniform composition throughout is called homogeneous. Means everywhere the particles are same composition. Like vacuum, like distilled water, like pure alcohol, glass, plastic, diamond. In all these, the composition is same throughout the one end to another end. Such mediums, which are comes under optical mediums, but they are completely of same composition, are called homogeneous. Right? So heterogeneous, it is also optical medium only. Optical medium that has different composition of different points. Sometimes more density of the particles, sometimes less density, like air, muddy water, fog, mist. All these are, they are not composed of same matter at every place. Changes from place to place. From where light enters, it will be more, or when leaving before that, there is a variation of composition. Such medium is called heterogeneous medium. Homogeneous, same composition throughout. See, remember, either homo or hetero, they should be an optical medium only. They should allow the light, then only you can define. Means all the optical mediums are classified into either homogeneous or heterogeneous, or transparent or translucent. Transparent means which completely allow the light to pass through them, right? Like glass. Translucent, which partially allows the light to pass through them. Oil paper, butter paper, all this comes under this category, right? So there are a lot of terms are there related to light to be discussed. So next class when you meet, see there's so many are there again. What is opaque bodies? Opaque bodies are those which does not allow the pass through them. Light. They does not allow. Which completely allows are called transparent, which partially allow called translucent, which completely stops the light are called, like see, brick, wood, stone, metals, all these are comes under the opaque bodies, right? Some more are there. What is the point source, extended source, ray of light, beam of light, parallel beam of light, diverging, converging. So many are there, right? So we should discuss in the next class. So many terminology about the light. In meantime, you can note all the important points from this chapter. And we'll continue the same in tomorrow class, next class, right? Hope you are clear what we learned today. So we learn about the, so what is light? First we'll see. First what we learned? We started with the light. What is light? First, okay. Started with the what is light. Then what is the luminous bodies? Luminous, non-luminous, right? Then we've seen the speed of light, which is 3 into 10 power 8. Then terminology, some important terms related to terms like optical medium, homogeneous medium, heterogeneous medium, transparent body, translucent body, and opaque bodies or opaque mediums. All the mediums which are available in and around us, they are classified based on how they are allowing the light to pass through them. Which are completely stop the light, like brick, stone, and all metals. They are called opaque mediums, which are completely allows the light to pass through them, like plastic or glass or paper. They are called as transparent medium, and which partially allows some light, like oil paper, butter paper, and all. There comes under translucent. All these are called as optical mediums only. Optical medium can be either homogeneous or heterogeneous, depends on the how the molecules are composed. Right? So in next class when we meet, we'll discuss more about the more terms related to light in depth. Okay? So that's all for today. Thank you all of you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.